How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. A Bitcoin ETF was just bought. And I don't mean bought as in the shares. I mean the whole company was bought. It was an interesting situation that just took place, and I haven't seen it really posted anywhere on social media. I saw an article kind of buried down on a crypto website, and it just happened, but I want to cover it because it really shows like people are trying to get into this race as much as possible. I mean, we've already seen that with JP Morgan, with Goldman Sachs, with some of these other banks that don't necessarily approve of crypto trying to jump in, but now we have crypto companies buying other crypto companies that are in the ETF race. I want to talk about that, talk about some whales that are buying, that literally just started buying over the weekend, which is nuts. And they already are some of the largest wallets. I also want to cover a crypto that has a really interesting opportunity to do really well. To be clear, it's not Bitcoin. It's something much riskier with probably more upside potential as well in the short term. So I want to hit on that. If you don't mind, hit subscribe, turn on that bell notification underneath the video so you can see future videos just like this one. While you're down there, there's a link to Margex where you can trade cryptocurrency. You can go on there. There's no KYC. You don't need a VPN to start trading. It takes about 5 minutes. You can see everything on screen, which is really nice because it's just really simple to use. But they do have a bunch of different options where you can use different forms of collateral. So you can use like USDT to trade Bitcoin. You can use Bitcoin to trade XRP. You can basically mix and match whatever you want to deposit, and then you make the returns in those cryptocurrencies. Also, if you have a friend that likes to trade, you can always refer them to and get a portion of their fees. There's also a link down there to HGAaccess where you can join our Patreon. I'm on there with about 9 other creators, and we give information you can't give anywhere else. Now, over the last week, we've had a lot of volatility, a lot of excitement, a lot of, I think, maybe depression from some newer people that bought in at 48K, 49K, and now they sold because last week we did see a lot of short-term sellers, a lot of short-term holders going to sell Bitcoin. But keep in mind, the BlackRock ads continue. BlackRock CEO Larry Fink, we're almost at the maximum amount of Bitcoin supply that could be created, unlike gold, where we can manufacture new gold. He is actually educating the public. He's going on CNBC, he's going on Fox, whatever, any of the financial shows that you want to talk about. And I don't even know a lot of them now. I don't watch cable TV, but he goes on there and talks about Bitcoin and actually gives some information, stuff that people can understand, like, oh, yeah, you're right, we can manufacture new gold, we can dig deeper, but what? Bitcoin has a fixed supply? Oh, maybe I want to invest there. I think that's fantastic. Yesterday, we actually showed too how many people are putting the Bitcoin ETF fund, or how many companies are putting the BTC ETF funds on their homepages. We're talking Fidelity, BlackRock, Invesco, no, not Invesco, a few other ones as well, like pretty much a good majority. And yesterday we covered in the video how many people are actually, or how many companies are actually putting their Bitcoin ETFs on their homepage. Fidelity, BlackRock, you can look down the line, there are 3 or 4 others that are putting their ETFs right on their homepage, giving millions and millions of views a day to Bitcoin ETFs. And this has been helping. I mean, take a look at this. We look at this pretty often. This is the CoinShares investment report that shows the amount of money flowing in or out of crypto. Keep in mind, we had seen large inflows. Like these were considered large, 200 million, 300 million in a week. It's all blown away. Like we're going to have much bigger bars now because we have spot ETFs. But digital asset investments saw a total of 1.18 billion in inflows last week. Subject to T+2 settlement, meaning it takes like 2 days after the flows to settle, although this did not break the record set at launch of the futures-based Bitcoin ETFs. Now, this was huge though. Most going into Bitcoin. Makes sense with the Bitcoin ETFs happening, that most of it would go into Bitcoin, then some going into Ethereum, some going into multi-asset. No outflows though, which is interesting. Just all inflows, net inflows. So this will probably continue to be a high volume, not as much as we saw this last week, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was still pretty high, especially because when you consider that we only had 2 days of trading last week. we'll probably continue to see it float around 400, 600, 800 million for a while. And keep in mind too, this company actually just bought an ETF. I want to talk about that actually and show some whales. But first I want to talk about more of a degen play. This is one where you could make huge returns. It's actually very similar to something that we had coming out of last cycle, which is actually Olympus or OHM token. It went from $8 all the way up to $1,400. So like 170x return, but it has calmed down. Now, the new crypto that I want to show you is actually super fascinating. It's got like a similar flywheel mechanism. Like they want to get people interested in it and then keep them in the loop to continue to grow the price. And the crypto that we'll talk about is actually called Syncus. They have a couple really big YouTubers and Twitter people that are following them right now. Rodney Altcoin Gordon, if you don't know him, he has 400,000 people. He's a degen trader. Connor Kenny, Joe Perry's. And they're doing a big marketing push here soon. Right now, the price is 0.00635. And the market cap fully diluted is about 25 million. So it did break to new highs, or close to new highs, I suppose, over the last day. They're a treasury-backed ecosystem with DeFi products built for longevity and user empowerment. Syncus will continue to reward stakeholders simply buy and stake. The reason I say they're kind of like OHM is basically with every trade, Syncus, whether buying, selling, staking, or unstaking, fuels the perfectly designed ecosystem. This cycle promotes a steady growth of their treasury, rewarding the patience of long-term holders while profiting on short-term traders. People who sell Sync tokens contribute to the rewards of those who remain staking with Syncus. So Syncus has a 15% sell tax on the Sync token. Now, this is kind of controversial, but the reason that they do this is because basically this goes to their treasury. It goes to pay back stakers. Right now, if you stake on their website, you can use the code underneath the video, MFF, if you have the Sync tokens. Right now, you can buy them on Uniswap, and you can stake and get 78.8%. They already have $8.8 million worth of Syncus tokens locked up, so they are getting a considerable amount of people to stake. And you can refer yourself. Apparently, some people are making $10,000 a day. And this is people that don't really have much of a social influence. They put it on Twitter before other people, or they're over on YouTube doing a video on Sync token before everyone joined in. But the team behind this is really interesting. That's why I got interested in the first place. First of all, it got brought to me by someone that I've worked with before a handful of times. And right now, they showed me a $10 million market cap. The team ran $1 billion protocol last bull run. It was actually the Zigzag exchange. So right now, Syncus generates about $150,000 worth of fees a day, already close to $10 million for their treasury. They say that they're a top 10 highest earning protocol on Ethereum, most days next to Aave and Lido. And this is due to the mechanisms that they have implemented. It's that flywheel, right? So you go and stake, which grows their treasury, or you go sell, you buy, whatever you do, it grows their treasury. Their treasury grows, they can continue to give more and more rewards. They can then lock up more and more Syncus, or have people sell it because they get pissed off at the sell tax or something, which grows their treasury, and it continues in that flywheel motion. They have exchange listings lined up, according to them. And they said that they will launch the only licensed crypto exchange in Dubai, currently being built right now. So they continue to grow that flywheel effect. They're going to do a big marketing push. I'm not telling you to go buy it. You can do whatever you want. But if you do buy it and you want to stake, use that code MFF underneath the video. Also, I do hold a position in Sync. Just know that. I mean, most of the cryptos I talk about, I hold a position in. Why else would I talk about them, right? Let me know your thoughts on this underneath the video, though. Of course, it's a little bit more degen because of the flywheel. Some people call it Ponzi-nomics as well. This is one of those things that if you get in, you want to get in early. We're still pretty small compared to where we could be. They think that they can grow this to a $10 billion market cap, or at least $1 billion. They've told me that several times. If you want to check it out, there are links underneath the video. Okay, so what we were just looking at before I talked about that crypto was the CoinShares report. I find that super interesting because we've been looking at this for years, and I just came across this today. CoinShares exercises option to acquire US Bitcoin ETF issuer Valkyrie. I've heard about Valkyrie for years too. I had no idea that there was an option between them. So now the European cryptocurrency investment firm, CoinShares, who I only know from their investment report each week, is progressing with the potential acquisition of US competitor Valkyrie Funds, which is an issuer of a spot Bitcoin ETF in the country. On January 12, CoinShares confirmed the exercise of its strategic option to acquire Valkyrie, strengthening its efforts to enter the US market. They declined to disclose the terms of the deal to Cointelegraph, but noted CoinShares aims to be the leading global investment company specializing in digital assets. It was only logical for us to expand into the US and join the race for the spot Bitcoin ETF. This is just fascinating. This does a lot less volume than some of the top companies like Grayscale, Fidelity, BlackRock, but still, I mean, they did, I believe, around 90 million in volume over the first 2 days. This is fascinating to me, though. It shows people are kind of trying as hard as they can, even if they're not in the ETF race, to get in on the Bitcoin ETFs. Like Valkyrie obviously wants a part of that pie, or CoinShares wants a part of that pie. Either they think they can grow it or they think that's just a moneymaker right away. And they are trying as much as possible to absorb Valkyrie. Now, this still has to get approved, but this is fascinating to me. Now, I also want to show you a couple whales that are buying. These whales do not hesitate. They don't wait for the market to open. They just buy. So this first buy is actually from just the 12th. The 12th of January. What is that? Sunday, Monday, or Sunday, Saturday, Friday. They were buying Bitcoin, or they sent it over from a different wallet. Most likely they bought, though. Most likely they bought Bitcoin and sent it over here. They bought 2,100 Bitcoin, and they sent 2,100 Bitcoin, then 200, then 300, then 300, then 300, 400, 400, 300, 600, 300. Most likely continuously buying on exchanges, because why would you send 2,100 Bitcoin? Like, you're sending most of your Bitcoin and then you just send 200. Like most people would do a test transaction, which they did here. And then they just sent a huge amount and then they just continued to buy. So whoever this was probably saw that dip on Bitcoin down to 42.7 and started wanting to buy, right? They saw an opportunity. Maybe they had waited, or maybe they have a different wallet, but they wanted to start up a new wallet, something. And they've just been buying like crazy. Now, this person got in probably because they were hyped up about the Bitcoin approval. You can see here, they sent their first Bitcoin. This is a different wallet. They sent 55 Bitcoin. Imagine that. Send $2.5 million as a test transaction, right? And then a day later, 12 hours later, they sent another 5,000 Bitcoin. And then a few hours later, they sent 109 Bitcoin, another $4.7 million. So over one day, they became one of the top 300 largest holders, on the top 400. So that's just crazy that we have these wallets coming out of nowhere, but that's bound to continue to happen. There are a lot of millionaires, a lot of billionaires that want in, and they are going to buy whenever possible. Right? Whenever they see an opportunity, if they're not already in, they might start buying. Let me know your thoughts underneath the video, though. Again, check out Syncus if you want. Definitely on the higher risk end of the spectrum, but also those tokenomics are kind of interesting. If you're looking for something that's high risk, possibly high reward, it's done really well the last week. I think going up over 100%, maybe closer to 200% right now. Also, check out the links to Margex. Of course, if you just want to buy Bitcoin, I don't blame you. I totally get it. The fact is, Bitcoin is still going to go up probably 100, 200, 300% this next bull run. Let me know your thoughts on all this underneath the video, though. If you are in the US, I hope you are safe. I hope you are staying out of this massive winter storm. And I hope you have a good day. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.